The holiday update has been and gone, so let's spice up FC26 with some new sliders. We're not actually going to start off in the sliders, we're going to start off in the rules. So we've got bookings on, handballs on, except for penalties. We can't be having penalties given away for no reason, but handballs are very prevalent in the modern game, and it's a good way to get a nice little free kick in and around the area. Offsides on, of course, and referee strictness, I've gone very strict because I want red cards. Right, when it comes to the gameplay presets, we've got it set to custom. I've got also shots on, assisted headers on because you need all the help you can get in this game. Shot assistance on precision. I like that autonomy, okay, that control over where the ball's going to go. It could go out for a throw-in, it could go top left banjo, who knows. When it comes to the passing, also flare passes on. I like a cheeky little bit of skill. Everything is set to semi, pass receiver lock late, and precision pass sensitivity normal. Defending, auto clearances on, directional clearance assistance, jockeys assisted, defending advanced because I do like to shoulder barge people off the ball. Professional fouls on, of course. Pass block assistance, I've just kept that on. When it comes to switching, I've just kept these as standard, but obviously you can fine tune these to your heart's desire. Simplified skill moves we've got off, goalkeeping I've kept as is, and you don't want analog sprint on, that's just rubbish. But when it comes to the match settings, we've got the half length at 5 minutes because I've recorded stuff, so I need as much time as I can, but I don't want it to be too long. And difficulty level, we've got legendary. Now the gameplay style, it is set to custom, and I've got authenticity features on because I quite like it when players run into the advertising board and they go arse over head. You've got loads of benefits having it on. I mean, the more realistic defending, quote unquote, retuned pacing of skill moves, you've got your player reactions, you've got your ball physics, which is great for dynamic wind effects. It basically means it swaps between high, medium and low between each game. I've got weather effects off because I can't stand it when the ball just stops when it's raining in the middle of a pass. It frustrates me to hell, so I've just kept it as off. But now we get into the nitty gritty. We get into the actual sliders. Now when it comes to player speed, the sprint speed for both the user and the CPU I've got at 37 and the acceleration at 47. It's not the quickest, it's not the slowest. I find it's the decent sweet spot. If you've got fast players, they're going to feel fast. If you've got slow players, they're going to feel a little bit slower. When it comes to the shooting, the shot error for the user, I've got a 45, the CPU 25, the shot speed I've got is 53 because I'm trying to score long shots, but my lord, it's not happening. It's probably because that is set to 45 in hindsight. And your header shot error, I've got set at 20 to each because you want headed goals, for God's sake. They go in real life, why can't they go in game? Onto the passing, the pass error for the user is 57, for the CPU is 40. Pass speed is evens, it's 33 for the user, 33 for the CPU. And the header pass error I've got set to 82 for the user and 75 for the CPU. Now when it comes to injuries, I've got the frequency set at 90 for each and at the severity of 45 for each. You want injuries if you're playing a career mode, let's be honest with you, because it creates dynamic storylines. If your star player gets injured and he's out for 3 months, you're going to need to backfill him, okay? It just makes the storylines better. But of course, if you don't want a lot of injuries, then just drop that down to like 25 or something. I'm sure it'll be fine. As you can see, goalkeeping, the ability for the user and the CPU is set to 50 for each. Now these are the fun ones. Team positioning. I've kept the marking at 50 for both the user and the CPU because I don't know about you, but I'm facing a lot of teams that park the bus and they've either got 4 players or 5 players defending their goal hole, and you just can't get away from them. When you're playing in the Championship or League One, there's space. There's always space for runs, for a little bit of movement. And I just feel like they're too tightly marked. It's overcrowded. It just gives you more variety, more option, I think. It does make the gameplay feel way more dynamic. And then we've got the run frequency. I've got that set to 65 for the user because I do want our players to make some half decent runs off the ball. But I've set it for 75 for the CPU because you've just got more to look out for. There's more darting runs, there's more active defending. The line height I've set to 65 for both the user and the CPU. The line length 35 for the user and the CPU, and the width is set to 50 for both the user and the CPU. Now fullback positioning, I've set that up to 80 because I quite like my fullbacks pushed high up the pitch. So I've set that quite high to 80. I've set it to 75 for the CPU because you can't assume every fullback's going to bomb all the way up. You don't want loads of space in behind, because then every attack just becomes going down the wings. But at around 70, 75, I mean, you could go 73, that's probably the sweet spot. I've just set it to 75. When it comes to ball control, I've just set the power bar to 50, but you can set that to whatever preference you want. It's basically just how quickly does your shot power raise up on the power bar. The first touch control, I've set that to 60 for the user, 40 for the CPU. Intercept error 95 each, and ball deflection error 99 each. I just want the ball to go anywhere, really. I mean, it just makes it way more interesting. And then the defending, this is the one that I quite like. Tackle assistance, I've set all the way down really low to 25 each. I don't want forgiving tackles. I want fouls. I want fouls in the area. I want fouls around the area. I want free kicks. But at least with this, there is the chance that that might happen. Now, the CPU sliders, I've got tackle aggression set to 70, because as I said, I do want more fouls in the game. Build up speed, just to give them the best chance, because the CPU attacking is basically a wet paper bag. That's all the way up to 95. Shot frequency, 85. First touch, pass frequency, I've set to 65. So then they're not just tiki-taka in it around your entire team. Crossing frequency was set to 83. I'm going to hop it up actually to 90, because when they're in the areas, nowadays, the ball goes into the box. And I've set the dribble frequency and the skill move frequency to 60 each. You could up it if you want, but there's not an awful lot of dribbling going on in today's game, so 60 seems around about right. Maybe pop up the skill moves to 65, just to add a bit of flavour. When it comes to the camera, I set that to legacy, and power shot zoom is on, and I'll just keep the camera settings as default. But also, I'm not sure how many people know about this. However, in the audio, there is, if I can find it, beyond broadcast. I had it set off for some reason. I don't know why. Probably why all the games seem so bloody quiet. Having this on is so great, because it just builds the immersion when you're playing, especially away from home at somewhere like Newcastle or Liverpool. You know, you've got the fans in your ears right on the touchline. It's great. Chuck that on if you want to just, I don't know, feel a little bit more immersed. There's not much more to say on that. Obviously, the update has just come out, so I might be fine-tuning them over the next few days. So there might be another, I don't know, Volume 2 out next week. If you've enjoyed it, do let me know, and I can make this maybe a regular thing. Who knows? But for those of you who are fans of the career modes, I'm working on a rebuild as we speak, so that part 1, a little hint for you, will be out very soon, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed, do leave a like, comment, hype, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, lads, take care, and ta-ra!